Oh, we have a big update on the auto key card case. We know what the boys are facing. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John Crump, and this is John Crump News, where we talk about 2A every day. Today, we're going to be talking about the auto key card case. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Also, today we are brought to you by our friends at Gideon Optics. Gideon Optics makes some of the best optics on the planet at an affordable price. Rich has some Gideon Optics himself. I run a Judge, a Mediator, and an Omega, and Rich runs a bunch of alphas on his pistols. They are great optics, and you should definitely check them out over at GideonOptics.com. Check out the link in the description. All right, now we're going to be splitting this video up into two different videos. I'm going to cover one person, and Rich is going to cover the other person. And we're going to start out with our friend Justin Irvin. But before we do that, Rich is from Flying Rich Firearms. And right after this video, you will be redirected to his channel to learn about the fate of CRS, or the possible fate of CRS. All right, so let's go ahead and recap what's been going on. Originally, they were supposed to be sentenced on July 30th. And that July 31st. And that did not happen because the prosecutor in the case had to have cancer treatment. So they delayed it by several weeks. And since that has happened, there's been a motion for acquittal that's been filed, which has not been ruled on quite yet. I am expecting that to be ruled on before sentencing, but you never know. They can wait right up to the day of sentencing before ruling on it. So what is going on now is they got the sentencing guidelines. If you're not aware of how the justice system works, they look at all the situation, the whole entire situation, and decide what they're going to recommend to the court. Now, the prosecutor is not involved in this process, so she wants a stiffer sentence because she's evil, but we'll get into that at some other time. I really do not like the lady. So for Christopher Irvin, Christopher Justin Irvin, he goes by Justin. They are recommending that he gets time served. And you got to remember, he's been in jail for 3 years. So, or 2 years. He's been in jail for a long time. So, time served will take into account the time that he's been into jail. And he is also looking at a 3-year probation period. So if the judge goes by the sentencing guidelines, he will be out in September, which would be freaking great. He can still appeal, which I'm sure that he will do, but he will be out in September, and it's easier to appeal when you're out. The prosecutor is asking the court for 8 years for him. I don't think that she'll get that. Prosecutors ask for stuff, especially evil prosecutors. So there is that. So next month, Justin should be out and walking the streets and on probation. So when that does happen, we'll try to get him on the show on Junk Up Live or whatever to talk about what is going on. But there is light at the end of the tunnel for Justin. Am I missing anything with Justin, Rich?
No, you got that covered good. Let's see. So what they did is they interviewed Justin, and I'm guessing they interviewed Justin's father. I don't know as much about that. I know they interviewed Matt and Erica to come up with these sentencing guidelines. And so, I mean, they're good people. They haven't done anything wrong. And I think this case is more like the FRT, the rare breed FRT. They should have just sent a cease and desist. This would have been less costly to the taxpayers. Everybody would have said, "Pump the brakes. I don't want to be involved with that." No, Justin and Matt would not have proceeded any further with this.
Yeah, I talked to a guy who was producing 80% auto sears, and they didn't arrest him. They sent him a cease and desist. And that's a lot closer to being a machine gun than an auto key card. So I'm not really sure why. They might have looked at their financial situations and figured that they weren't able to fight back because the guy that got the cease and desist on the 80% auto seer has a little bit of money behind him, so he could fight back. The ATF, they're bullies, right? So they like to pick on people that can't fight back or are going to have a hard time fighting back.
So it seems like it's a two-tier justice system that they're working harder to make things more difficult for people that don't have the money to defend themselves, that aren't actual attorneys themselves, like in the rare breed case.
Yeah, I mean that is definitely what they're doing. I mean, it's terrible that they're actually doing that, but it shows you that the justice system isn't fair, and anyone that says it's fair hasn't been paying attention. So, fortunately, in this case, the judge has been pretty fair, but the system has not been fair, the prosecutors and stuff like that. But the judge seems to be a pretty down to earth, good person that actually cares about the law. So we'll see what the judge does. I mean, the judge can still acquit, and I'm kind of surprised that that is still out there. That order is still out there.
Yeah, she
So,
hasn't closed the door on that. So
yeah, I'm not sure what is going on with that, but it's it, it's very I guess there's a little bit of hope that she does acquit, but I'm not going to count on that because I know that's highly unlikely.
and I don't know if they do an ACOD, which is acquittal on contemplation of dismissal. So what they would do is give a term of like say 6 months or however many months or years, and say, hey, if you don't get into any trouble, all of this goes away, which I think would be the right thing to do.
I mean, they could do that, but um, I'm not sure. I know Cody Wilson had that, and but I'm not sure exactly if that will happen. I doubt that will happen in this case. I seriously doubt it because usually with something of machine guns, even though I don't believe it's a machine gun, that is very unlikely. But you never know. You never know. Before we go, I do want to thank my new Patreons, Justin Curlson, ADXR920. He's a great guy, and James Cote. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. If you want to become a Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/John Crump. Or if you don't like Patreon, you can go to johncrump.locals.com, or you can just hit that little button down below that says become a channel member. Either way, you will get some awesome perks and it'll be great. Plus, I'll be at XCal in a couple hours for some shooting with some of the guys, IV8888, Jared and some other guys. And tomorrow is the public event where you can come meet all of us out there. There's also a GOA lunch thing that you can buy a ticket for $25, and you can meet us out there and a lot of the GOA crew, including Eric Pratt, who is our Wayne LaPierre. Well, until I see you guys again next tomorrow. I do have a video I'm gonna do tomorrow. I just haven't had a chance to record it yet. Stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep in the fight. Don't go anywhere. Stay in there. You're gonna be redirected to Rich's channel. Are you gonna do this on Flying Rich or Flying Rich Firearms?
We're gonna do it on Flying Rich,
So you'll be directed to Flying Rich. Also check out
where we
Flying
talk about Matt Hoover's case.
Yeah, also check out Flying Rich Firearms on YouTube as well. So with that, I only have one thing to say. And Rich, you say it.
Wolverines, mother.